Hi, welcome back. Here we are beginning Excel chapter 5, which is all about tables. And this chapter is a little bit shorter than some of the others. Um, but the first thing I want to sort of address is their use of the word table here, right? Because when they use the word table, right, a table can be a pretty broad concept, right? Um, a table really generically is used for anything that consists of columns and rows. But in Excel, right, they use the term tables to mean something very specific, which is essentially what we would call a database. And so if we look through this chapter and look at some of the data that is being manipulated here, right? Here we just have a lot of data points, right? We have, temperature and rain and snow and the days of the week, and, it's just a bunch of data. It's just a data laid out in a table. And so what do you do with it? You don't need to get involved in detailed computations necessarily, but you have to be able to manage this large amount of information. So this chapter is really about how to organize and filter and report on what's inside of these tables, again, in a way that you can extract meaningful information out of the tables. One important aspect of it is the idea that setting up an efficient table structure requires planning. Because adding things on after the fact is a little bit more challenging than sort of thinking through your table structure at the beginning of a project, right? So we get into a little bit of that, and then there's just this second chapter, which is, second section, which what they're calling intermediate table skills, which is basically just applying filters and adding, totals and all that kind of stuff and subtotals. And then again, as always, they talk about the relevant print issues for this material, and there's a chapter practice problem, and then, as always, a scored assessment. And so that's chapter 5, just the basics of managing data that's presented in tables. Okay, chapter 5.